everybody. My name is Megan Good with Geeky Girls Website Design, and I am the lead designer and owner of the company. And I wanted to go over with you more in depth about what we talked about on our weekly website review. We had reviewed a couple websites, and one of them was like painfully slow to sit and watch it load. And I'll go through that with you today. And I wanted to actually show you how in your back end on your website you can fix some of those things. There's usually two issues with that. Often it's either your pictures are too big, or you haven't done updates in a while on your WordPress website. So updates means updating the WordPress files, also updating your plugins, or updating your template. Those three updates, if you don't do them, you might not have a site if you go to it. There was one site that I went to, a client of mine's, they didn't have automatic updates set, and it's who I used to work for, and because that, half their website wasn't even showing. So we updated that this week, everything's showing again. So things like that magically happen if you aren't updating, and you need to be really careful and actually be paying attention to your website and what it's doing, and are customers able to find you and find the information they need on your site. So let's go over shrinking pictures and also updating your website, how you do that. If you're unfamiliar with WordPress or what to do, it's really simple, and I'll walk you through what the process is. So let's get started on that. All right, so here's my test site. I am doing a website redo as anybody in the industry. I get bored with my website, so I'm always trying to recreate something better, something that works better for my customers. So this is on a test site that I'm doing, and if we come in here to your dashboard, let's first go over pictures, okay? So you come into your dashboard and you go to media. Often people will have a slider of some sort or something really big. Let me show you that other website that was having a lot of problems and show you what it was doing. So it's got like this background image, which is great. It looks wonderful, but there's no text showing up here, and it's still loading, and it takes several minutes to load because I believe either updates again or pictures are too big. And so with the pictures, that's a really simple, easy fix. The other one is too, it's just knowing how to do it. So on my page, I've got this big slider here, and if you had a picture like this, let me upload one. You would upload a picture, and generally you'll upload it based on the size that's recommended for that spot, which is fine. But often that can be a big picture. This is almost a megabyte, not quite, but anything in that range or higher, if you have a 5 megabyte picture, a 10 megabyte picture, that is going to be painful for people to actually sit and wait for your website to load. Do you see this is still loading here after we've been doing other things? That's nuts on your own website, okay? So to fix that, on pictures, we're going to come here to the picture and click Edit Image. And here we can change the dimensions. On something like a slider, I wouldn't change it any smaller than like 1,000 pixels wide. And I'll show you that, okay? We're going to scale that. Don't change both sides, just change one side, okay? And so that shrunk it down by about 900 pixels, which is going to make that size of the file smaller. And when we come and click on it now, it's 72 kilobytes, which is much smaller. It's going to load a lot faster. You might think, oh, then I'm going to shrink all my pictures really small. So let me show you what happens if you shrink all your pictures really small and then try to use them as sliders. So we've shrunk this. And yeah, that is a teeny file, and it's going to be awesome. And it's going to load so fast, but you know what's going to happen? It's going to look terrible. So let's click that one. I'm going to actually refresh because it's not picking up that one. So that is still loading. Now it's just barely loaded, guys. It's crazy. Okay. So again, you thought, oh, it's great. I'm going to shrink them even smaller because that will make it so much faster for me. That's not always a good idea. Okay, look at this picture now. We do have some blur on it already, just so it doesn't compete with the writing in front of it. But if you shrink the picture too much and then put it where it's intended to be a large picture, look at the quality and the way that quality goes down. It looks really pixelated. So again, don't shrink big slider pictures more than 1,000 pixels wide. That's kind of the standard, but you don't want it any smaller. Otherwise, that's the look you're going to get. So let's go to one that's 1,000 wide. And again, this is a pretty small file. 72 kilobytes is not huge. It's going to load pretty dang fast. This has still got things loading, guys. That's just nutty. I'll know when it's fully loaded when this stops. Okay, so we did that, updated that. Let's refresh ours. See if we can beat theirs. Yep, ours is loaded fully. And there, that looks less pixelated, but still loads quickly, okay? So just remember that with pictures. Usually if it's going to go in a big spot, no more than 1,000 pixels wide. I wouldn't make it any smaller. If you're going to put it somewhere like this, you want about a 500 to 700 wide pixels. These are 1,000 wide, and this is just junk from a demo site, so that's not ours. Again, these are pretty small, but they're 600 wide, but don't take up a lot of space on your site. Okay. The other thing that you often will need to do to check your load speeds or improve them is to do your updates. So from your dashboard, you're going to come here and you're going to click on updates. And if there are updates, there will be a circle with a number in it for you. So they'll show you that you need to do 12 updates or however many updates. It will want to update your plugins, your theme, and your WordPress version. And if they're not up to date, things can run slow, things cannot show up, things can totally be missing. So this was a website that I had done for a customer when I worked for them. And when I came to their site the other day, this wasn't even showing up. Their Instagram plugin wasn't showing any pictures. Their team wasn't showing any pictures. Still looks like these are probably too big for the area. But we did some updates and everything popped back up for them. So without that, that can be a huge problem. So just check that. If it says it needs updates, there will be a link here for you to update. You'll also see the red circle at plugins if there needs to be an update. So those are two simple, quick fixes that you can use to change the speed load of your website. And if you have any other questions, if you're having any other problems with your page load, please do get with us and I'd be happy to give you a quote or help you walk through the problem and see if there's something bigger, something major that's going on that is sending your customers away, that they're leaving your page. Check your bounce rates. Check your website frequently enough that you can see if people are having problems. Don't create it and forget it. That's just not the way that websites work. You do have to check on them, and you have to make sure that they're functioning the way they're supposed to function. If there's a problem, take care of it right away. Don't wait months to find out that there was a problem. So any questions, put them in the comments below, and I'd be happy to do any reviews for you on your own site if you have problems. Have a great day, guys.